Hello, I am Patrick Ash. I'm a author, commentator, musician, all that stuff. Check out my books. Wanted to talk about what I would say is the most frustrating part of being a four-wing five. The thing about the Enneagram, of course, is that each of the kind of types has their motivation, their impetus, their focus. And for a four, we have that deep feeling. That feeling could be sensitive, could be just a strong sense of just powerful emotions that we it feels turbulent at times. We're offset by the five, which is kind of the deep thinking. We have deep feeling and then deep thinking. And the thinking, of course, kind of leads us to be an analysis paralysis, maybe, which I've done in both my personal and professional lives. Calculating, thinking, considering, looking at from different angles. And so that means we kind of have this push-pull between actions and reactions to things, sensitivity, both for ourselves and for others. What's most frustrating is when you realize, okay, I'm hearing my deep thoughts and feelings and whatever, and I know I can't stay here. I know it's not enough. I think there's a Bruce Lee quote that says something like, it's not enough to know, you must apply. It's not enough for me to sit in here, to stew, to ruminate. I have to turn this into something. Emotions could turn into a piece of art, something that's write songs. And on the thinking side, that's a lot of my career in nonprofit program evaluation is analytics, it's statistics. It's looking at data and looking at research and seeing what does it mean for social services and how can we be better. For me, what's most frustrating when you kind of develop what you would think is a positive, proactive mindset of okay, I'm breaking out of this deep thought and feeling. I'm sick of sitting here and stewing in my thoughts and my feelings. I need to get out into the world. I need to go do things. I need to take action. I think, it's the integration to one where it's okay, keep fighting in my own brain. I need to go and decide that this is what I'm going to do, right, wrong, or indifferent. I'm going to take action. Okay. So you reach that mindset and you start acting, and then you get a whole lot of nothing. Evidence suggests I should do such and such. This is how I should take action. And so you do, and then nothing happens. This is very related to my other videos on meritocracy and bootstrap theory and hard work and whether or not it pays off. I think the challenge and why it's more, I would say arguably more difficult for a four in general and a four-wing five in particular, is that I think for other types, sure, it's frustrating for anybody engaged in a certain task, and you're all right, if I keep at this task, eventually it will pay off. I think for anybody it's frustrating, but for us in particular, because you are feeling that every time, rejection. I would say I used to be very good at it, but I think I've been worn down to the nubs over the years. I seriously have in my email somewhere upward, I would say I have near 1,000 rejections, particularly on the professional front in jobs, but also with book query letters, lots of writing things, lots of music things, but especially when it comes to, So if you've been rejected, not once, because it's funny when I first bring it up with other people, I'll say people that aren't four-wing fives, they'll say things like, oh yeah, that sucks. I hate it. Last time I was applying for jobs, I got turned down 10 times. It was awful. If it were 10 times, yeah, that sucks, but I can bear that, Once you get to 15, 20, 30, 40, once you get into those really high number, when you start to lose count after a while, that's when it goes beyond this sucks and goes into the what in the world am I going to do? Going back into that push-pull, doing the rejection, and then on the thought side, it's okay, well, what do I do about it? Well, man, do I try this? Do I try this? Do I try this? I think if you've seen there's a show called The Good Place, and there's the character Chidi, is that he gets stuck in that analysis paralysis, which I don't know, maybe it seems maybe five-wing four-ish, where it's just well, I could do this, well, I could do this, maybe, and he's just kind of stuck in his own mind. And I know I get in that, couple the emotions with that way of thinking, and it's a recipe for chaos. And you can feel it, and you're just I don't want to feel chaos, I want to take action. But then it's like if those actions keep leading to rejection, you're like, well, what am I supposed to be learning here? Well, because that's another mindset of like, what's my lesson? Because there's a popular saying, and it's like on inspirational things. It's like, even if you lose the battle or lose the thing, don't lose the lesson. It kind of pisses me off, honestly, because sometimes, like, I'm all about, and this is a very Forrest sentiment. It's like, sometimes there is no lesson. Sometimes it just sucks. When something like that happens, and you're trying to cull meaning from the experience of many rejections, either there is none, or if there is, you're just not sure what it is. So yeah, that right there is when I feel just utmost frustration, where I'm just like, okay, I'm trying to accomplish this task. I'm not sure how to do it. I keep trying what I know how to do, using the data, using feedback it could be from other successful people. It could be from articles from reputable sources. Not like it used to be, no matter what your field is. Some people luck out and their hard work is paid off. Recognizing I don't want to just sit feelings and thoughts and just sit there. I want to turn that into something. Many people would respond to this. I've seen this too, and read this in articles. You have to focus on what you have control over. I think what's overall a good piece of advice is like, I have laser-like focus on what you can control. That being said, I'll say isn't much we can control. Even down to like our daily lives. Like I've had the experience of like when I've been serious about exercising, like going running or swimming or something like that. I have this long list of like, and this is very four-ish, like I started running and then I got injured. I got sciatica and it was debilitating. Like I could not actually run. And I get through the months of physical therapy and then it's like my schedule's different and I've like lost the drive. Then I took up swimming and I was good about it. I was swimming regularly and I moved, no longer had a pool. And it's like, oh, well, you can go to the local wire. You can go to, go to a club, you pay a fee, and then you can only go for like half an hour in one lane on Thursdays, and all these like really specific rules, and rules don't tend to jive with us very well. Like whenever I like get into a good habit, it's like, it's like, well, then something external happened and now I can't do that thing. Or if I do, it's like pushing water uphill. I actually wrote a poem with that title in my poetry book. Check it out. Very 4.5-ish, both my novel and my poetry book. Realizing you have to take action and you have to break out of your mindset and then just hitting a wall over and over and over again. And then you find yourself back in the mindset and you're like, I don't want to be here forever. I think focusing on what you can control is the best you can do. And sometimes that could be very low. And I think even David Wong said in his article, he's like, that could be something very small. It could be as simple as, I have a meaning to drink more water. So, and this is assuming you have good water. Keep thinking of examples like, yeah, well, even there, do you really have control? So that could be constantly shifting. It could be maybe I've got good water today. Maybe tomorrow it's writing. It's any number of things. Keep at it. It's tough. If you're out there and you're feeling that frustration, know you're not alone. Not even just a daily thing. I feel it throughout the day. And yet people often come back with, what else are you going to do? You have a job, a purpose, whatever it is that you're really trying to accomplish. All you can do is just keep trying at it. I hate it. It's my number one frustration. So hope this is beneficial. Best wishes to all of you. Take care.